All right, welcome back to more Ultimates. We're going over issue 14. We're meeting more mutants, as seen by the cover with Wanda Maximoff and Quicksilver Pietro. And we have another contender in the ring, but that is a spoiler for later. We'll see who that is. So to recap real quick about last time, we're seeing the new Ultimates 3.0 in action. A bunch of people, regular people, are joining from around the world, and Tony is working himself overtime using the Immortus engine. He's using multiple versions of himself at different points in time to spread around the Ultimates really fast. So, with that in the way, let's hop right in, because we start in Roxxon with who other but Captain America and Hawkeye. They met at one of these, so it's only right that they go to another one. Hawkeye doing recon down there. Captain America doing lookout, telling him, hey, we should chill out before we go into anything. And Hawkeye, of course, disagrees. We need to control the junction to shut down the pipeline. I bet you $20 it doesn't take us 20 minutes. Start your watch. And then he shoots an arrow, which we cut to head of Roxxon, the CEO, Rex Bonhurst. Value members of the business community, thank you for coming. The biggest risk to our future earnings are these so-called Ultimates. The people in this room control 28% of the world's wealth. As I look around, I see a table full of job creators and innovators, leaders, problem solvers. And that's what brought us together today, a problem that needs solving. Now, I know we've traditionally been competitors. Hell, I'm pretty sure a couple of you have even tried to kill me. Unsuccessfully, I'm happy to say. But I'm glad we put all that aside for what's really important, the bottom line. So who are these people? We have Nicomonius West, the CEO of Alchemex. This is the dude who fixed Doctor Strange's hand in Mainline. And so the CEO of Roxxon goes on. For instance, last month, the Ultimates disseminated confidential research and proprietary protocols for Alchemex's entire line of life-extending treatments. Now, practically anyone with a kid's chemistry set and a few common precursors can make their own. Black market genetic cures for cancer and AIDS are flooding the market. Basically just ruined Alchemex's whole holding out the cures for health. Miss Hammer. We see Justine Hammer, CEO of Hammer Weapons. The Ultimates have been destroying your weapons manufacturing plants all over the North American Union, crippling various war efforts abroad. You're disseminating your margins. And she informs him, yes, you're actually wrong. They're not destroying them anymore. They're actually stealing them. Troubling indeed. Advanced Idea Mechanics, the everything company, also known as AIM. And we have Scientist Supreme here. And he says, yeah, the Ultimates have altered our algorithms remotely, greatly reducing our ability to suppress information and elevate favorable narratives across all 9 major markets. And despite our best efforts, the Ultimates Ghost app is the most downloaded app of the week for the 7th week straight. And he's like, oh, they have their own app? How could you allow such a thing? You people make the phones, didn't you? Well, Stark Tech underlies a lot of our hardware. Hell, Howard Stark invented the language you use to program our software. I'm concerned Iron Lad understands our technology better than we do. Well, Miss Midas, this is the daughter of Midas from issue 2 who didn't die but got his neck broken. The Ultimates paralyzed your father and orchestrated the violent uprising of Midas correctional facilities all over the country. With the material and strategic support of the Ultimates, your prisons have become schools of violent revolution and your family name a laughing stock. And speaking for Roxxon, those terrorists, these thugs, had disabled or destroyed a significant percentage of our energy infrastructure, including pipelines, refineries, transport vehicles, and operations. They've even turned the public against us, smearing us with stories of so-called Savage Land, Broxton, and some other such regrettable but unrelated incidents. The average Joe is too stupid, too limited to understand what all we know, that sometimes sacrifices must be made. These Ultimates have gone beyond vandalism. They're systematically weakening the North American Union's readiness for war. The Ultimates have become a genuine threat. So the question is, what are we going to do about it? And so they ask, what does our silent partner say? Who could that be? We will meet them in a moment. He referred us to an associate, and they let her in before we see her yet. They inform us that we've worked with this vendor before. She has previously handled situations like this. And he's asking them to split the tab because she's very costly. So he wants this lady to get rid of the Ultimates basically and says, hey, if she gets rid of the Ultimates, you guys are going to help split the tab because it helps everybody. It costs what it costs. Less than we stand to lose if we don't take care of this problem. This vendor's reputation is diamond. Hopefully that gives you a little hint of who it is. I only wish we used them against the savage Lance insurgents in the 70s. Caveman riding dinosaurs, boiling out of the bush. I need a drink. And so we learn who the silent partner is, as the CEO of Alchemix says, shouldn't DaCosta be picking up part of this bill? I mean, it's his problem. Well, be careful. He is the Black King. So if we're meeting the Black King, we know that he's the Black King of the Hellfire Trading Company. That means the person that we're going to meet is the opposite, the White Queen. Well, we go back to the Ultimates before we see them. And we see how their progress is on that bet. Hawkeye bet that they could finish this mission in 20 minutes. They're already at 18. As I kick a dude in the face, and then in comes Emma Frost. Happy to have you on the team, Miss Frost. So it's nice to see that the mutants are here. She is evil. And by evil, I mean she's on the side of not the Ultimates. She's not helping the Ultimates out. And they ask her, what do you run? What do you call it? She owns a school. Children are my passion. She's basically the school of wayward youngsters. She owns Charles Xavier's school. Because Charles Xavier's, if you don't know, in Ultimate Wolverine, we've already gotten to that point. He's just a brain underneath Eurasian Republic. He did not do his dream of doing a school. So it seems Emma Frost is controlling that. And so an evil woman taking control of what would be basically the X-Men. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. And so she controls them and takes care of their eyes, shows them the battlefield. As we see Hawkeye and Captain America standing there. We did it in 19 minutes and 38 seconds. You owe me $20. And we see that they've already started the operation. Her mutants are already in there. As we see Captain America start talking, and then boom, he's gone. Did you catch it? Let me play it back at a 1 million frames per second. That's Pietro. As he crashes into Captain America, he's moving at 4 times the speed of sound. Your check is cleared, gentlemen. All your problems are about to disappear. Blink, and you'll miss it. So Pietro takes Captain America and separates him from Hawkeye. And we see back to your troublemaker with the arrows now. She's with Wanda. When she's upset, bad things happen. So Hawkeye versus Wanda. Captain America versus Pietro. Unlikely things happen. Equipment malfunctions, slip-ups, freak, lightning strikes. So as Hawkeye fights Wanda, Pietro is fighting Captain America, just punching him over and over again, punching him in the shield, punching him in the back, punching him around. Just gets worse and worse. How long do you expect to take this? Well, not long. I've been training the twins for this sort of thing since before they could walk. Ever since I found them in Eurasia Weapons Lab, bred like dogs, living like them. So Pietro has the same old super speed. He's a fast man. He's basically just the Flash light. But Wanda's powers are not as clear. It looks like she just has like some chaos magic, which is like she just has uncertainty things like domino, but also controls weather, shit like that. She just doesn't seem like super powerful. She probably is just a reality bender, but also just not as elite as she is in Main 616 because she's a teenager. As you can see, Hawkeye shooting an arrow. It misses. She takes the arrow, picks it up, takes it apart. And then finally, Captain America and Hawkeye kind of reunite. And so it's Pietro and Wanda versus the both of them. Pietro doing his victory lap. And Captain America's like, yeah, these guys are just messing with us. But they're both just kids. They're all kids. But I just don't see another choice besides just to take them down. It sucks that they're kids. Captain America is having a hard time coming to terms with it, but he understands that this is basically the mission. He's got to do this. And then the hole underneath the earth opens up as he tells Hawkeye to blow up the pipeline. What? But it's still running. I don't know if we can do that. It doesn't matter. That's the point. Take your shot, Hawkeye. As Captain America swaps and punches Wanda in the face. Oh dear, he's hurt Wanda. And then Hawkeye tells him, yeah, dude, my targeting systems are down. I don't know if I can actually do this. I'm not a good shot. What? Well, just because I'm Lakota doesn't mean I can. Well, dude, it doesn't matter. You got to do it. Don't airball us because you can't aim with the bow. As Pietro comes in, he's very protective and he will make certain that they suffer. That dude is full of rage. It seems the Ultimates need more training. As Captain America just gets punched over and over in the face and then shot super far away by Pietro. And so Hawkeye shoots his shot as it goes through the air. You're moving at what, Mach 3? Which means you can't hear anything I'm saying. That's too bad, as Hawkeye's arrow does hit the pipeline successfully and blows it up. You guys build up heat as you move. You're not dissipating it Everything you touch burns. One more weapon. Well, that's too bad, as the oil pipeline comes down on them, and Captain America covers his body, but it gets all over Pietro and catches him on fire as he collapses down, unable to breathe as well. Your friction field will protect you from most of the heat, which is why you didn't even bother to dodge it. But all that fire is going to burn the oxygen right out of your lungs. Take a seat, son. Catch your breath a minute. So nice. Captain America beats Pietro just by being a combat strategist. I love Captain America. Genius on the field. So with the Ultimates winning, we see what the silent handler says, the Black King. I'll miss that electric jolt I got of a pint of Pietro's blood. Basically, this dude takes the blood from the mutants and just drinks it to, like, live longer. Awful, bro. That is the worst thing ever. His son is right there that he just sucks and feeds off of, too. And he just steals it from Emma Frost's sanctuary. That's rough, bro. That's just pure evil. Pietro and Wanda were my two most promising students. Their loss to the program will be challenging, but it's not a total loss. They were plotting against you, as you suspected, with the exception of Miss Midas. So all of them just get brains exploded, besides, of course, of Miss Midas. She says that she's going to plan their deaths to the Ultimates. Very cool. And then tells Miss Midas, hey, despite what your father says, I'm going to help you take over the world because you're actually pretty good at it. And then we see Wanda and Pietro just there. Do the Ultimates take prisoners? We'll see what they do with them next time in Ultimates issue 14, 15? This is 14, right? Yeah, 15. We're going pretty good at this. So, thank you for listening, watching, and enjoying. Peace out.